It's always one person who just cannot let go. You see the writing is on the wall, but for some reason they feel like they are going to be the one that's going to defy the odds and come out on top. Hence, Fani Willis.
Donald Trump's legal battles are all but over following his historic election win, but there's one holdout still prosecuting President-elect, the president-elect embattled Fulton County DA Fani Willis. But sources tell the New York Post the state Supreme Court is getting ready to dismiss the case, throwing Willis's professional future into doubt. Former federal prosecutor Francie Hakes joins us now. Good morning, Francie. Thank you for joining us. From what I understand, obviously this is the last case with the state of Georgia here. What makes this? What makes people believe this case will be dropped?
Well, good morning, Joey. Right now, the case sits with the Georgia Court of Appeals. And just this week, they're supposed to have oral arguments on the defense's motion to have Fani Willis recused from the case for a variety of misconduct. And without any warning, without any apparent motion, and without any explanation, the Court of Appeals just removed, that is, canceled that oral argument. And so there's speculation that they are getting ready to just rule based on the briefs instead of requiring oral argument. And if they're not requiring oral argument, they've probably made up their mind. And I'm guessing that the election has something to do with it.
Yeah, we also...
Of course, the election has something to do with it. The election has something to do with all these cases coming up against President-elect. The question that I have from the jump, and this should be like a legitimate question, is how in the world did Donald Trump get on the ballot in the first place? Not after the first time. Because, the first time he got on, and a lot of people believe that he really wasn't trying to win. He just got on just for the heck of it, for publicity, because, he's a media figure trying to keep his name out there, and he ended up winning. He went on with it and won. So this time, and we all know, when he was president, people say, the economy was better. There were no new wars, which we know this country and the Western world is built on the wars, as we've seen since Biden got back into office. He removed troops out of war-torn countries. Donald Trump wanted peace in America and tried to make them and thought of America first when it comes to the citizens, going against the grain. So then the question is, how did he get back on the ticket this time if he was so bad? Now, remember, he said that Joe Biden and his people didn't, his administration, they talked bad about Donald Trump's tariffs, but his tariffs were still in place, are still in place right now. So they're like talking at the side of their neck. But then they tried to, they tried to prosecute him in, I believe, New York, with Florida, Georgia, with these just egregious, just outlandish charges, and got found guilty of what, like 37 counts of 37 felony counts based on the lie of a stripper, I believe what they said. So they found him guilty of having an affair and then tried to hide the money that he gave her through his companies. Probably try to hide it from his wife, if it's true. Now, he said he never met the woman, don't know who the woman is. But if that's the case, they try to give him felony charges on that. And then New York also got him on taking out a loan on a property. And the loan he took out was more than what the property was supposedly worth. And that was felonious. Think about this. I know a lot of y'all probably have got a title or a payday loan. I know I have. I know I have in my past. Probably got a couple of title loans. Now imagine, let's say blue book value for your car is $2,500. You go to these title loans and you say, hey, I need a loan for $5,000. Okay. They say, okay, they give you the loan for the car just on looks alone. whatever. They didn't do like a whole deep dive into the history of your car, and they give you $5,000. You turn around, pay every payment on time, even paid a high, outlandish interest rate. So you end up taking a $5,000 loan out. In the end, you pay anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 back. But then they turn around after it's all said and done. Some crazy prosecutor, attorney say, "Wait a minute, this car when you got this loan, it was actually worth $2,500. You lied to us, so now we're going to prosecute you for that. Although you made 3, 4, 5 times your money back, you're gonna prosecute me for this." Well, that's basically in a nutshell what they did to Donald Trump, and they wanted to make him a felon and trying to take all his assets. It's it's like, what in the hell? And then you go with this election interference. They're trying to prosecute him for that, but yet they did election interference with all these cases. Matter of fact, they say they got proof that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade went to Washington, D.C. Remember, Nathan Wade said he don't know why he went. He can't remember what the meeting was about. He just know he went, and that dude's so incompetent. I don't see how he still got a license. But they went up there before the cases, before the not the cases, before he was accused and was arrested or tried, whatever you want to call it. Damn, I forgot what I'm trying to get. Drawing a blank on the word I'm trying to use. But anyway, before they put charges on him, God, there they go. Before the charges was set, okay, presented, they went to DC to talk to, like Nathan Wade said, he don't know who he talked to. He just knows he went to DC. And all this is supposed to be above board, is what they're saying. But now, all these charges have been dropped, dismissed, or on the back burner, or pushed back until most of them, like after the election. Yes, this is based on the election because people are not crazy. Folks that are in certain positions know what it means to be in a position and trying to court the person in power. They know Donald Trump was going to win. They knew after that dang on debate with Biden that Donald Trump was going to win this election. When they put Kamala Harris in, they was like, he's still going to win this election. So these cases started falling off. But you had this one woman here, Fani Willis, and this other black woman in New York still trying to hold on. And it's like these judges and these prosecutors and these judges are trying to tell y'all, look, you need to back off from this. I don't care what, the Democratic Democratic leaders are telling y'all. You're not going to win this because he can get into this office and he can make moves and mess up and disrupts everybody's career. And he don't have to do it directly. He can do it indirectly. I mean, for example, he said he was going to put tariffs on everything that comes into the United States. Everybody thought, he can't do that. That's crazy. Why would he do that? And then you had a Mexico president. She's talking about, well, if he put tariffs on us, then one tariff deserves another. And he says, well, let me tell you, I'm gonna charge 25% tariffs on anything that comes through Mexico if they keep allowing these illegal immigrants to come through the border. Mexico's president had a little talk with Donald Trump. Next thing you know, she says, no more caravans. You see what I'm saying? I mean, he's not even in office yet. That's the crazy thing. See, that's what people like Fani Willis, and I can't think of that damn lawyer in New York. This is something they, for some reason, don't seem to understand. That this man, once this man gets in office, because finally to understand, she's not going to prosecute and put Donald Trump in prison before he becomes president. First of all, you can't do it because he already president-elect. So legally, she can't do it. It'll have to be pushed back until after he gets out of office. In the meantime, your career is going to go to hell if you have a career at all. But let's continue.
The riveting, we've televised it live here on Fox, the riveting case where Fani Willis's relationship with Nathan Wade was highlighted and showing where she might have, for lack of a better term, been exposed to malpractice in bringing these charges. So are we looking at a situation where she, as the prosecutor, is removed and thus the case goes away unless another prosecutor picks it up? Or is it the merits of the case itself could have it thrown out?
Well, Joey, if she gets recused, then the case simply gets removed from her office. Because if she's conflicted out, her entire office is conflicted out. And then the case goes over to what's called the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia. And they have the ability to either assign the case to one of their lawyers, sort of roving prosecutors. In fact, we saw one of those prosecutors in action in the Lake and Riley case last week. She worked for the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia. So they could assign it to one of them, or they could assign it out to a different elected DA. And the case would effectively start from zero because no prosecutor is going to want to come in and simply start where Fani Willis left off. They're all going to go to the beginning. And I suspect they'll all reach the same conclusion. There was no violation of law here, and this case should never have been brought.
Yeah, that's nobody trying to spend taxpayer money, millions more of dollars. I mean, they've already found out that they done paid Nathan Wade an egregious amount of money that he didn't deserve, didn't earn, didn't work for. This cat was saying that he worked like 24 hours straight on cases. Like, dude, who works 24 hours on anything? The only thing a human being can do for 24 straight hours is breathe. That's it. Now, some people say you can be awake for a day or two. I can understand it. You people, some insomnia, can't sleep. I get it. I'm quite sure you might nod off, wake up, nod off. But the only thing guaranteed that a person to do before they die for 24 hours straight is breathe.
Seems to be what most people think. I hope so. This lawfare has to end, and our president needs to be able to govern. Francie Hakes, thanks for joining us.
I'm Steve Doocy.
So yeah, Fani Willis needs to go ahead and just give up the case. They probably gonna end up making her give up her job. I think did she win an election this past month? I'm not sure. But here's what I need my sisters and my sisters out here in politics to really pay attention to. They did this whole George Floyd hit, blew up, and did this whole DEI thing for supposedly, Black women. And the face of it, which they always do, is they're going to put a Black person out in the forefront. And what you saw in the past 3-4 years is you saw a lot of Black women become judges. I did videos on that. Mayors, district attorneys, so forth and so on. DEI positions in PWI colleges. Most of it, like I said, was Black women. They put you out there. While Joe Biden, just so get that vote, get that Joe Biden vote. Then all of a sudden, it all started crashing down. The folks said, "Okay, they've been out there enough. They've been in the front. They ain't done nothing for us. We ain't benefited from them. So now it's time to put them back in their place." Then you start seeing these mayors being prosecuted for misconduct, spending money on security, spending money on lovers, spending money on trips, spending money on just hair, thousands and millions of dollars that these mayors and that these mayors are spending on things that got nothing to do with the people. And so they're getting prosecuted for it, or they're getting investigated for it. Like I say, these trials that Trump were being prosecuted for, now they're getting dropped and suspended and dismissed. All this stuff ran by Black women, but Black women feel like they always want to be on top or ahead or above the Black men, because quick to say they got all these degrees. They're quick to say single Black women are buying more houses than single Black men. All this kind of stuff for status and prestige out in the public And black men who, got some sense, we sit here and say, we don't need it all like that. We can be pillars of our house, pillars in the community, making sure our families are taken care of first. We want wives, we want children, grandchildren, we want legacy. We want all that. That's the most important thing to us in the grand scheme of things. But for black women, they dangle this carrot like, hey, you can be a judge and we'll put your picture in the paper or in the magazine, or we'll do interviews with you. You can be a district attorney and you'll get nationwide recognition. You might just even become vice president or can run for president. We can do all, but hold on, that's a fake black woman that I'm talking about. But we can do all this for you, put you in these positions because you are the backbone of the Democratic Party. That's what they say. But with saying that, when you look at your community, they have done nothing for your people as a whole. Individually, they put a few of you out there so y'all can look, so it can look like we're getting all the prominent positions. But then when you look at the statistics, the whole DEI thing has benefited other people more than it has benefited black people, which is the same thing for civil rights, like the civil rights of the 60s. Same thing. Affirmative action, same thing. We get a little benefit, but these things that were supposedly put out for the black community, somehow others get equal, if not more benefit from it than we do. But we can't see it because they put out, a shiny lure in front of certain fish, and then those fish bite and they get hook, line, and sinker, as they say. And everyone else gets nothing. But that fish, like the analogy is, get caught, but then get hooked in and then pulled out and suffocates and die, while the rest, like career-wise, while the rest of everybody else is looking like they got nothing, but thinking, dang, I wish I could have got that lure or got that worm, because I was hungry for it too. But like in the end, fish eventually get eaten. And that's what happens. But anyway, so like the story say, Donald Trump, all these charges from every state, it'll be dropped. People want to talk about these 37 felons. Like I said, these felonies are like bullcorn. Ain't nothing really serious. So, it is what it is. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.